Candace Owens hated Charlie Kirk. And I was surprised to hear this, but I received a tip. Several prominent conservatives have confirmed to me and my crew that Candace Owens had been going around shortly before he died, within the months before his death, saying that she hated him. Now, I wonder if she really hated him. Maybe she was just scornful, second wife syndrome. Maybe she actually really loved him, but when he chose Erica over her, she became resentful and angry, sour grapes, trying to find a reason why something was wrong with him. And she chose a different life. I look at everything she's doing now. She's attacking Erica Kirk directly, a grieving widow who has to now deal with a life without a husband and a father for her children. And the question is, why would Candace do this? Why would Candace accuse Turning Point staffers, Charlie Kirk's best friends, of being in on the plot to murder him or even attack his wife? If she really cared about Charlie as much as she claims, she'd want to protect his legacy. She'd want to create a better future, or at least help in whatever way she could, create a better future for Charlie's children than his grieving widow. Instead, she has continually, over 3 months, attacked the organization and told people to stop supporting them, just destroying Charlie's legacy. Right now, there is one person that damaged Charlie's legacy more than anyone else, and that is the assassin who took his life. And his life substantially more important than his legacy. He had kids, he had a wife, he had friends. But this was a tremendous strike to his body of work outside of himself. That's not to be crude. Obviously, the killing of Charlie Kirk, first and foremost, is the most horrifying thing. But it was to stop him. Second on the list of individuals who are doing everything in their power to stop what remains of Charlie Kirk's dream is Candace Owens. No one doing more damage. No one causing more harm to his family. Certainly the assassin caused more harm to his family than anybody else. But isn't it weird? Candace Owens now going after his widow in more ways than one. She said at first there were only 3 people, 3 individuals. I believe it was 3. She mentions her husband and she mentions Erica Kirk. And now that Erica Kirk has appeared on Fox News saying, please stop, to these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode, Candace responded with a smile on her face saying, it's about me. That's a quote. Said it, I think 3 times. It's about me, she said, while this poor woman suffers and has to figure out a future for her children with no father. Candace Owens smiles, and she puts out a tweet saying, it's absurd that you think because you're grieving, I can't criticize your organization. Candace Owens did hate Charlie Kirk, but I don't know that it was raw hatred. I think it was, I don't want to say sour grapes, right? But that's basically what it was. You listen to the way that Candace talks about Charlie Kirk, and it's clear that she actually deeply loved him. But then why be so angry? Why go after his family now? Why go after his friends and his company? Because she's scorned. Charlie didn't choose her. And in the lead up to his death, no one knew what was going to happen. She had been going to prominent conservatives privately and talking about how she hated him. Again, I don't think she really hated him. I think she loved him. But what more can be said? He left. He chose somebody else. And so here we are. The latest news, of course, Candace Owens tears into Erica Kirk and questions her running Turning Point USA. I could not imagine what it would be like if someone were to do this to my family. I could not imagine what Erica must be going through. And you can criticize the way she acts or think she's not grieving properly, but we all know Charlie is dead. And Charlie was the father of Erica's children. So you may think whatever you want about Erica and her attitude or whatever it might be. Maybe you think she's cold or anything like that, but think about her kids. Don't Charlie's children deserve a future? Wouldn't that be the best thing we can do for Charlie? I don't understand why Candace feels that harming Charlie's children is the way to honor him, or I don't understand what makes her think that people actually will support her tearing down the last bit of support structure for Charlie's children. I find it to be disgusting. Newsweek reports Candace Owens tears into Erica Kirk and questions her running Turning Point USA. She says it is a positively absurd notion that you cannot critique a $150 million organization because the CEO says they are like a family and are grieving. It's the exact same emotional strategy deployed by Black Lives Matter in the wake of George Floyd's death. I think I actually have the full tweet. Actually, we'll just pull this one up right here because it cuts off. It's the exact same emotional strategy deployed by BLM in the wake of George Floyd's death when I called out their shady financial dealings. I rejected it then, and I wholly reject it now. Then what is this? What is this?
Well, now you're going to have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman and not just a wife who we expect emotion from. And you're rightful in that capacity. You are rightful to have emotion. You are rightful to be the aggrieved widow. But you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO. You don't get to respond to, well, in this case, investors, donors who have given money and are asking meaningful questions with, no, you don't get replies right now because this is the Charlie Kirk show, fam. Doesn't work this way, okay?
And this is how she began these lines. Here's what she had said in the past.
No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk has the power to shut me up right now. That's it. Asked her about the conspiracy.
So it was 2 people, not 3, sorry.
And what she had to say to those saying them. Erica said, stop. No. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk has the power to shut me up right now. That's it. Asked her about.
Here's what I see. Cam Higbee posts, by the way, real Candace Owens had her lowest growth in subscribers and views the week before Charlie died, and the highest this year the week he did die. If I were a low IQ grifting conspiracy theorist, I'd suggest she was in on it with no evidence, but I'm not Candace Owens. And this is from Social Blade, and you can see this right here, September 1st, 0 subscribers, and her views taking a dip until Charlie died. I mean, you know what? Cam Higbee, this that you have posted, this is how guys see it. It's how men see it. Men see a function to what Candace Owens is doing. The reason she's making these moves is because she is profiting for herself. The reason she is besmirching Charlie's good name and everything he built, telling people to pull their donations, it's all rational in the mind of men. She's doing it for money, for clout, and that is the message you will see from guys who don't pause to think, what do women want? And so I think it's fair to say we need to step back and take a look at what Candace is saying and has said, what Erica is saying and has said. And the reality is this is not about money. They're both very wealthy. Candace has been wealthy for a long time, and she's married to a man worth hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe. She has 4 children. This is not about the biggest show. This is not about making $10 million this year. That's what her income is reported as, though I don't know. That sounds about right, actually. It's about one thing. A woman scorned. If you look back at the history of Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, it looks like they were inseparable. For this one brief moment, she and Charlie were together, but she his wingman. She talks about on her show how she was always there for Charlie, talking about the clothing he wore, the clothing he would wear and telling him, you can't wear that shirt. You look ridiculous. The text messages she released where she says, I feel like an alien here. And he says, I feel like a time traveler. It's romantic, isn't it? But something happened. Why, with all of that love that Candace tried to give to Charlie, did he push her away? And Charlie chose someone else, got married, and had children. Well, it's interesting. This dynamic. Charlie just did not love Candace because you're not guaranteed someone's love. And he stayed her friend, but she wasn't his soulmate. Erica was. And that's why they got married and had children. There are people that push these conspiracies that Erica is a prop wife or that she was chosen, but that would imply Charlie was in on some conspiracy, which I just don't believe for a second. These lies about Erica being chosen to be Charlie's wife, it's as though the whole thing was fake the entire time. And if that was the case, why would anyone defend Charlie Kirk at all? No, the reality is Charlie worked very, very hard. He worked hard for his friends, for his wife, for his children, for his faith, and for the world he knew needed to exist, not just for those he cared about, but for all of us too. And he wasn't perfect. Nobody was. And he loved Erica. And when he died, Erica, his wife, was chosen to lead the charge on what he had built. And I think that's the right move. I'm not going to pretend that she's right on everything she does or that she just knows how to run a massive organization. I'm sure she has help from Charlie's best friends. Now, Candace has stepped in and is trying to burn it all down. I've got names. I got names. And, because we get tips and we have sources. And I have people hitting me up telling me that they personally witnessed Candace Owens saying several months before Charlie died how much she hated him. Could it be that she really loved him, but he chose someone else? I think so. To the guys, you can argue that she created Blexit, she worked with Turning Point, and they outed her. Kicked her to the curb at the end of, I believe it was 2023, when they stopped inviting her to events. And what was it about? Was it because she had collaborated with Ye and made comments about Israel? Perhaps then Turning Point's leaders said she's going down a path we don't support because she was critical of Israel. Maybe. Maybe Charlie didn't want to be with her because he was the biggest supporter of Israel. And it's not that Israel dictates their lives or tells them what they can or can't do. It's that Charlie viewed the world in a different way. And he stayed friends with her because he did care about her. But he knew that their worldviews were divergent. And she wasn't the right person for him. And they would only fight. You may have seen the statement from Erica Kirk blasting the conspiracy theories surrounding husband Charlie Kirk's death. They say, let's actually pull up the full story. Pushing back, we have the actual clip here. Let's play it for you guys.
During her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing.
Have one thing. Every
part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Wow.
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No,
She said hundreds and thousands. And not hundreds of thousands. I thought that's what she said the other day. That was my bad. But there really is only one person making a ton of money from this. There are smaller channels that, sure, they're making money, but they're not doing episodes. No, Candace is doing this and making money. And let me quote, "It's about me." Candace Owens fires back hard as Erica Kirk asks the public to end Charlie Kirk conspiracy stories. "It's about me," Candace said. "It's about me." I believe she said it 3 times.
Okay, super fun show today. You're probably seeing the clips, but Erica has gone off on conspiracy theorists. Obviously, every journalist out there is emailing me because it's about me. It's indirect, but it's also about me. And don't worry, in case you think it's not about me, she is going to name check me on stage with Barry Weiss on Saturday. How do we know? Because our mommy sleuths be everywhere. And they recorded the town hall today. And as soon as the town hall concluded, we got a flutter of emails. And what she says about the Egyptian planes, I'm sorry, not going to lie, it's a little suspicious. It's weird. It's a weird response. So look, we got to go.
Candace Owens has people secretly recording Charlie Kirk's widow so she can make an entertaining show. Candace Owens is evil. She's evil. And what does that really mean? She is causing suffering, pain, destruction all around her to a great degree. It is demonic in the most literal sense. What's fascinating to me is, I said the other day that I feel like I got a message from the Lord, and they were like, "Oh, Tim now is Christian." I've never said I was Christian. I believe in God. I believe there is one God. I believe that Christian morality is as close as I can understand to proper morality, the most effective means to serving God's will. I just don't agree with the Christian view on God. I don't believe in the scripture or things like that. but I do believe in God. I do believe that there is some kind of angel, there is some kind of demon, and in the plural, they are entities. Candace refers to herself as we and us, like the demons in the Bible. The demonic seek to drive us away from God's will. Now, I know many of you out there are not religious, so let me just put it this way. We are beings of order. We are not always so ordered. Sometimes it is chaos. But if you look at what life does, we create, we organize, we build, we grow. This brings energy together and brings order to the universe. And those that serve God are those who will be fruitful and multiply, who bring about order in this world. The demons and the darkness seek to tear down and destroy. They create more destruction than they create order. And those of the light and righteousness create more order than disorder. Candace is creating disorder. She's hurting Charlie's children with a smile on her face. She has people secretly recording Erica Kirk so she can make money on a show. Scorned. But maybe this is why Charlie didn't want to be with her. Maybe Charlie saw the demon within her, the demonic presence, and he cast her out. And now she lashes out like some vile creature. We are not characters in your soap opera, Candace. We are all real people. Erica is a real person. She has children. Those children have nothing to do with the hate and destruction you are seeking upon them. And here's the truth. Candace hated Charlie. But as I've explained, does it really mean that she had always hated what he stood for, or that she hated him because he rejected her? And there was Charlie every day with a smile on his face, walking out on stage on Amfest with his children and his wife. And there was Candace, sitting far away, separate, detached, watching the man she once loved with another woman, smiling and happy, something she will never have with Charlie. And so as she watched that, she said to herself, I hate him. And then she went to other people's homes. She had meetings with other conservatives, and she told them she hated Charlie Kirk. I got names and I got sources. So if Candace wants to play this game, it was only a matter of time before people started coming out and exposing her for the monster that she really is. But I suppose we can only just see. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Hit that like button before you go. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Stay tuned for more to come throughout the day, and we will see you all in the next show.